Welcome, everyone. I'm thrilled to have you here today. We're about to embark on an intriguing journey into the landmarks of Masonry, exploring what every Mason should know. The title of our presentation is Understanding the Landmarks of Masonry, What Every Mason Should Know, with a special focus on the mysticism of Masonry. We'll be delving into the secrets and symbols that make Masonry so fascinating. Over the next few slides, I'll guide you through the core principles, mysteries, and symbolism that define this ancient tradition. So let's get started. Welcome to our exploration of Masonry. Today, we'll cover a variety of key topics that illustrate its rich history and enduring principles. First, we'll start with the introduction to Masonry, setting the stage for understanding what it truly entails. Next, we'll look at the landmarks of Masonry, which are the fundamental principles that guide its practice. Then, we'll discuss the foundational rules of Masonic lodges, the core guidelines that ensure order and integrity within the fraternity. Moving on, we'll explore the principles of brotherhood, emphasizing the values of friendship, support, and moral development that unite members worldwide. After that, we'll delve into the mysticism of Masonry, uncovering the symbolic and esoteric aspects that add depth and mystery to the tradition. We'll also take a look at global perspectives on Masonry, understanding how it is viewed and practiced across different cultures and regions. Finally, we'll discuss the future of Masonry, considering how it evolves while staying true to its core values. Throughout this presentation, we'll see how these points connect to form a comprehensive picture of Masonry's enduring significance. Welcome to our exploration of Masonry. Today, we'll cover several key aspects that define this ancient and fascinating tradition. First, we'll look at the landmarks of Masonry, which are the fundamental principles that guide the fraternity. Then, we'll explore the foundational rules of Masonic lodges, understanding how they operate and uphold integrity. Next, we'll dive into the principles of brotherhood, emphasizing the strong bonds and mutual support that unite members. We'll also touch on the mysticism of Masonry, revealing its deeper spiritual and symbolic meanings. Moving forward, we'll consider global perspectives on Masonry, seeing how it is viewed and practiced around the world. Finally, we'll discuss the future of Masonry, contemplating its evolving role in society. Throughout this presentation, we'll connect these points to the overall theme of enlightenment, tradition, and brotherhood that makes Masonry truly unique. Let's take a closer look at the history and origins of Masonry. Ancient beginnings. Masonry's roots go back to some of the earliest civilizations. Back then, early builders formed guilds, which were not just about craftsmanship, but also intertwined with spiritual rituals. This blend of practical skill and spiritual symbolism laid the groundwork for what we recognize today as Masonic traditions and symbols. Moving on to the evolution through ages. Over time, Masonry has evolved significantly, always reflecting its rich historical roots. It's adapted various techniques and philosophies across different eras, but what remains constant is its emphasis on symbolism, societal contributions, and the ongoing pursuit of knowledge. Finally, cultural variations. Masonry isn't a monolithic tradition. It varies across cultures. Different regions interpret and practice its principles through unique rituals and customs, but at its core, it upholds universal values like brotherhood, moral integrity, and personal growth. These variations highlight how adaptable and enduring Masonry truly is, connecting diverse cultures through shared ideals. This historical perspective helps us understand how Masonry has grown and evolved while maintaining its foundational principles. Today, I want to talk about the purpose and philosophy of Masonry, which are at the core of what we do. Masonry emphasizes moral integrity and ethical behavior, encouraging us to focus on personal growth. It's about fostering a community that truly values truth, charity, and the pursuit of knowledge among all its members. Masonry teaches us that the pursuit of knowledge is a lifelong journey. We are encouraged to seek wisdom, aim for self-improvement, and strive for enlightenment through study, reflection, and shared experiences. This process helps us grow not just individually, but as a brotherhood. At its heart, Masonry fosters a deep sense of brotherhood and community. It's about supporting each other, sharing common values, and growing together. These bonds of brotherhood strengthen our moral and ethical development, creating a supportive environment for everyone. So these key principles, pursuit of knowledge, moral integrity, and brotherhood, are interconnected. They form the foundation of our work and help us fulfill the larger purpose of Masonry, becoming better men and better members of our communities. Welcome to our exploration of Masonry. Today, we'll cover a range of topics that give us a comprehensive understanding of this ancient and meaningful tradition. First, we'll delve into the landmarks of Masonry, which are the fundamental principles that define the essence of the craft. Then, we'll look at the foundational rules of Masonic lodges, highlighting how order and structure support our shared values. Next, we'll discuss the principles of brotherhood, emphasizing the importance of mutual support, respect, and moral development among members. Moving on, we'll explore the mysticism of Masonry, uncovering its symbolic language and spiritual dimensions that inspire personal growth. We'll also consider global perspectives on Masonry, seeing how different cultures interpret and practice these teachings worldwide. Finally, we'll look at the future of Masonry, contemplating how the fraternity evolves in our modern world. All these points tie together to deepen our understanding of Masonry's enduring significance and its ongoing relevance. When we talk about landmarks in Masonry, we're referring to the fundamental principles or rules that guide our fraternity. These landmarks symbolize our core values, traditions, and ethical standards, elements that are essential for maintaining the integrity and identity of the craft. They serve as a moral compass, helping us stay true to what Masonry stands for. The significance of these landmarks in our practice cannot be overstated. They act as foundational principles that foster unity within the fraternity, creating a shared sense of purpose and identity. They also ensure continuity, preserving our traditions from generation to generation, which is vital for the longevity and strength of Masonry. It's also interesting to compare Masonry to other fraternal organizations. While many groups focus on social networking or philanthropy, Masonry places a strong emphasis on personal growth and ethical living. Our goal is individual transformation, becoming better men, not just participating in social or charitable activities. That focus on moral development really sets us apart and underscores the importance of our landmarks in guiding our journey. Let's take a closer look at some of the major landmarks in Masonry. First, we have the 3 degrees of Freemasonry: apprentice, fellow craft, and master mason. These aren't just steps, they symbolize personal growth, moral development, and mastery of Masonic knowledge. Each degree builds upon the last, guiding us on a journey of self-improvement and enlightenment. Next, we come to the Grand Architect. This figure represents the Supreme Being and also symbolizes the interconnectedness of all Masons. The Grand Architect stands for moral guidance, spiritual growth, and the foundation of our principles and values. It reminds us that our work is rooted in a higher purpose and universal design. Finally, let's talk about rituals. In Masonry, rituals are more than ceremonies. They're powerful tools that convey ethical lessons, foster brotherhood, and deepen our spiritual understanding. They reinforce the core principles of the fraternity and support our personal growth as we progress through these symbolic stages. All of these landmarks, our degrees, the Grand Architect, and rituals, are interconnected. They serve as milestones on our journey, guiding us toward greater moral and spiritual maturity within the broader framework of Masonry. Let's take a quick overview of what we'll be exploring today. First, we'll look at the introduction to Masonry, understanding its origins and core purpose. Then, we'll dive into the landmarks of Masonry, which are the fundamental principles that guide the fraternity. Moving forward, we'll discuss the foundational rules of Masonic lodges, highlighting how they maintain order and integrity. Next, we'll explore the principles of brotherhood that unite members across the globe. We'll also touch on the mysticism of Masonry, revealing some of its deeper symbolic meanings. Then, we'll examine global perspectives on Masonry, seeing how different cultures interpret and practice it. After that, we'll consider the future of Masonry, what challenges and opportunities lie ahead. Finally, we'll wrap up with a conclusion that ties all these ideas together. This overview is designed to set the stage for a comprehensive understanding of Masonry's rich history, values, and evolving role in the world. Now, let's take a closer look at the organizational structure of Masonry. The Grand Lodge plays a crucial role here. It oversees the local lodges, establishes the rules that everyone follows, and makes sure that traditions are preserved. Essentially, it's the ultimate authority within the Masonic hierarchy, ensuring consistency and unity across all lodges. At the local level, lodges operate based on foundational rules that promote harmony, respect, and proper conduct among members. These rules are vital because they help foster brotherhood and facilitate effective communication, which are the heart of what Masonry is all about. Moving down to the operational level, Masonic lodges are structured hierarchically. Members fulfill specific roles, from the worshipful master, who leads the lodge, to junior officers, each role playing a part in maintaining order, tradition, and governance. This hierarchy is not just about titles. It's about ensuring the smooth functioning of the lodge and upholding the mystique and integrity of Masonry. So, in essence, the organizational structure, from the Grand Lodge to the individual roles within the lodge, supports the continuity, discipline, and shared values that define Masonry. It's all interconnected, helping us maintain the tradition while adapting to the needs of today's members. Let's talk about governance and regulations within our Masonic lodges. First, it's important to understand that Masonic lodges uphold strict codes of conduct. These codes emphasize key values like integrity, respect, and confidentiality. This means that members are expected to embody high moral and ethical standards in all their interactions and behaviors. Moving on to codes of conduct. Membership eligibility typically requires a belief in a supreme being, which is fundamental to our principles, as well as good moral character. There's often an age minimum, too, to ensure maturity and readiness. All of these criteria help foster a foundation of trust and integrity among members. Finally, let's consider disciplinary procedures. These procedures are in place to ensure everyone adheres to our established rules and regulations. They promote unity and uphold the fraternity's integrity. When misconduct occurs, we have defined protocols to address it fairly and consistently. This approach safeguards not only our individual reputation, but also the values that make our fraternity strong. Overall, these governance elements are vital to maintaining the moral and ethical standards that define us. Let's take a quick overview of what we'll be covering today. First, we'll start with an introduction to Masonry, setting the stage for understanding this ancient and fascinating tradition. Next, we'll explore the landmarks of Masonry, those fundamental principles that define its core. Then, we'll look into the foundational rules that govern Masonic lodges, ensuring structure and harmony within the fraternity. After that, we'll discuss the principles of brotherhood, which are at the heart of Masonry and foster strong bonds among members. Moving on, we'll delve into the mysticism of Masonry, uncovering the symbolic and spiritual dimensions that make it unique. We'll also examine how Masonry is viewed from a global perspective, seeing its influence and variations around the world. Then, we'll consider the future of Masonry, thinking about how it continues to evolve in modern times. Finally, we'll wrap up with a conclusion that ties everything together. This content serves as the foundation for understanding Masonry's enduring significance and its role in personal and societal development. Let's take a closer look at some of the core values that truly define brotherhood. First, charity and compassion are at the heart of what we do. These principles are fundamental because they foster a real sense of community and support among us. When we practice selfless acts and show genuine care, we uplift others and strengthen our bonds as Masons. It's about more than just giving. It's about embodying kindness in our daily actions. Next, we have integrity and accountability. These values are essential for building trust within the brotherhood. When each member upholds high ethical standards and takes responsibility for their actions, it creates a foundation of reliability and honor. This mutual trust reinforces our community, making it a safe space where everyone can grow and support each other. Finally, tolerance and respect are the pillars that promote unity and understanding. Embracing diverse perspectives and encouraging open dialogue help us to see beyond our differences. When we practice mutual respect and dignity, we foster an environment where everyone feels valued and accepted. These core values, charity, integrity, tolerance, are interconnected and integral to the overall theme of brotherhood, guiding us to be better men and a stronger community. Building community is at the heart of what we do. When we strengthen bonds among members, we build trust, encourage collaboration, and create a real sense of belonging. These elements are essential for a united brotherhood that succeeds through mutual support and shared values. Outreach and philanthropy play a vital role here, too. By engaging in outreach efforts and giving back through charitable activities, we not only reinforce our bonds within the Masonic community, but also demonstrate our positive impact on society. This unity and support help us promote goodwill among everyone we serve and interact with. Finally, brotherhood also encourages personal growth. It provides a supportive environment where individuals can develop their skills, values, and confidence. This growth benefits both the individual and the community, fostering a culture of continuous improvement that aligns with our core Masonic principles. All these elements, building community, outreach, philanthropy, and personal growth, are interconnected. They help create a stronger, more vibrant organization that thrives on shared purpose and mutual development. Welcome to our overview of Masonry, a journey through its key aspects. We'll start with the introduction to Masonry, setting the foundation for understanding this ancient and multifaceted tradition. Then, we'll explore the landmarks of Masonry, which are the core principles that guide its practice and philosophy. Next, we'll look into the foundational rules of Masonic lodges, emphasizing how order and structure support its enduring values. We'll also delve into the principles of brotherhood, highlighting the bonds that unite members across different backgrounds. Moving forward, we'll examine the mysticism of Masonry, revealing its spiritual and symbolic dimensions. Then, we'll consider global perspectives on Masonry, recognizing how it's viewed and practiced around the world. After that, we'll discuss the future of Masonry, contemplating its evolution in the modern world. Finally, we'll wrap up with a conclusion, tying all these elements together to understand the broader significance of Masonry today. This outline is designed to give you a comprehensive understanding of Masonry's rich history and enduring relevance. Let's take a moment to explore symbolism in Masonry. Common Masonic symbols like the square and compass, the all-seeing eye, and the gavel carry deep moral lessons. They represent core values such as integrity, enlightenment, and authority within our tradition. These symbols are more than just images. They serve as visual tools that remind us of our moral and spiritual commitments. Now, these symbols also convey profound philosophical lessons. Each one can be interpreted in different ways, allowing for personal reflection. They reflect our individual journeys of self-discovery and enlightenment, encouraging us to find meaning through our own experiences and insights. Additionally, these symbols are powerful because they help communicate complex spiritual truths. They guide us through rituals that deepen our understanding, not just of ourselves, but of the universe around us. Through this symbolic language, Masonry helps us connect with higher principles and truths that are essential to our growth. So, in essence, these symbols are integral to our practice. They serve as visual and spiritual guides, enriching our journey and reinforcing the moral and philosophical lessons that Masonry stands for. The search for truth is really at the heart of what we do in Masonry. It's about personal enlightenment, each of us on a journey of self-discovery and deeper understanding. This quest helps us grow spiritually and connect to universal truths that transcend individual experiences. Masonry's mysticism acts as a guide in this process. It encourages us to look inward, fostering introspection and wisdom. Through this journey, we gain profound insights about ourselves and the world around us. But it's not just about individual growth. The pursuit of truth also strengthens our bonds with fellow brothers. It encourages mutual respect, understanding, and harmony. Sharing these values and experiences creates a stronger sense of brotherhood, built on common ideals and shared journeys. So, ultimately, this search for truth isn't just personal. It's a collective effort that unites us all in the ongoing pursuit of enlightenment and brotherhood. Let's take a quick look at what we'll be covering in this presentation. First, we'll start with an introduction to Masonry, giving you a foundational understanding of what it is. Then, we'll explore the landmarks of Masonry, which are the core principles that define the craft. Next, we'll examine the foundational rules of Masonic lodges, highlighting how they operate and uphold tradition. We'll also delve into the principles of brotherhood, emphasizing the bonds that unite members across the globe. Moving forward, we'll discuss the mysticism of Masonry, revealing its deeper spiritual and symbolic aspects. We'll then look at global perspectives on Masonry, showcasing how it varies and resonates worldwide. After that, we'll consider the future of Masonry, exploring emerging trends and challenges. Finally, we'll wrap up with a conclusion that ties everything together. These points are interconnected and reflect the overall theme of understanding Masonry's enduring significance and evolving nature. Let's explore Masonic practices around the world and see how they vary across different cultures. As you can imagine, local beliefs, traditions, and histories deeply influence how Freemasonry is practiced in each region. This leads to unique rituals, symbols, and community roles that truly reflect the regional values and historical context. Despite these differences, there are some common elements that unite Freemasonry worldwide. For instance, shared symbolic rituals, the ideals of brotherhood, charitable activities, and a strong commitment to moral teachings. These core principles remain consistent, even as the external expressions adapt to local cultures. It's also important to recognize how geography plays a significant role in shaping these practices. The traditions, rituals, and symbols often bear the mark of local culture and history, creating a fascinating tapestry of interpretations. This intersection of geography, culture, and history ensures that while the foundational philosophies stay intact, each region adds its own unique flavor to the practice of Masonry. In essence, what we see is a diverse yet unified global community. It's a testament to how universal principles can be expressed in many different ways, making Freemasonry both a shared brotherhood and a reflection of local identity. Let's talk about some of the challenges faced by Masonry today. First, public perception and misunderstanding. Many people still associate Masonry with old stereotypes, secrecy, and elitism, which can obscure the true community values and the positive contributions we make to society. It's important to recognize that Masonry is about more than just tradition. It's about service, brotherhood, and community impact. Next, adapting to modern society is a key challenge. Masonry needs to evolve its traditions to stay relevant. This means embracing new technologies, fostering inclusivity, and staying open to change, all while respecting our rich heritage. We want to connect with today's generation and demonstrate that Masonry is a vital, forward-looking organization. Finally, maintaining traditions itself is a balancing act. We cherish our historical practices, but we also need to adapt them to fit contemporary values. It's about preserving what makes Masonry special while ensuring it remains meaningful and relevant for new generations of Masons. All these challenges highlight the importance of continuous growth and adaptation, ensuring Masonry remains a respected and vital part of our society. Let's take a quick overview of today's topics. We started with the introduction to Masonry, where we explored its history and fundamental purpose. Then, we moved on to the landmarks of Masonry, which are the core principles that maintain its integrity and identity. Next, we discussed the foundational rules of Masonic lodges, emphasizing the importance of structure and order in our work. We also looked at the principles of brotherhood, highlighting the bonds that unite us beyond individual differences. The mysticism of Masonry was another key point, delving into the spiritual and symbolic aspects that give Masonry its depth. We then examined global perspectives on Masonry, understanding how it is viewed and practiced around the world. Looking ahead, we considered the future of Masonry, its potential growth, challenges, and evolving role in society. Finally, we wrapped up with a conclusion that ties everything together, reinforcing the enduring relevance and values of Masonry. Throughout this presentation, We've connected these points to see how they collectively define the richness and resilience of our tradition. Let's talk about the evolution of Masonic practices and how they are adapting to the modern world. Incorporating technology into Masonry is a key part of this shift. It really enhances how we communicate, making it easier to stay connected and share knowledge. It also facilitates learning, allowing members to access resources more conveniently, and fosters collaboration across different locations. This way, we can ensure that our traditions remain relevant while still preserving the core values and principles that define us for future generations. Another crucial aspect is engaging younger generations. To do that, we need to embrace technology, which is second nature to many young people today. We also want to foster a sense of community involvement and promote values that resonate with modern principles. This approach helps ignite interest, encourages participation, and keeps Masonry a vibrant and meaningful experience for new members. Finally, updating rituals and practices is essential for the future of Masonry. Modernizing these rituals helps maintain relevance in today's world, while still respecting and preserving our traditions. It's about finding innovative ways to include more people, making the experience more inclusive and engaging. By doing so, we ensure that Masonry remains a dynamic and meaningful institution that evolves with the times, yet stays true to its foundational principles. Preserving Masonic values is a vital part of our ongoing journey, and it all starts with education and mentorship. These are the keys to passing down not just knowledge, but also the ethical principles and skills that define us as Masons. By mentoring the next generation, we ensure that these core values are carried forward with integrity and purpose. Upholding ethical standards is equally essential. It maintains the trust and credibility of Masonry, both within our fraternity and in the wider community. When we promote responsibility, transparency, and respect, we strengthen the bonds that hold us together and reinforce our reputation as men of integrity. Fostering inclusivity is another cornerstone. Embracing diverse perspectives not only enriches our community, but also promotes unity. When we welcome different ideas and backgrounds, we create a stronger, more resilient fraternity, one that truly embodies the universal values at the heart of Masonry. All these efforts, education, ethics, and inclusivity, connect to our overall theme of preserving and strengthening the timeless principles that define us as Masons. Together, they ensure that our values endure and inspire others for generations to come. Let's take a quick look at the contents of this presentation. We start with the introduction to Masonry, which sets the stage for understanding this ancient and complex fraternity. Then, we move into the landmarks of Masonry, the core principles that define and preserve its integrity. Next are the foundational rules of Masonic lodges, outlining how these organizations operate and maintain order. We also explore the principles of brotherhood, emphasizing the values of mutual support and moral development. The mysticism of Masonry reveals the spiritual and symbolic aspects that deepen the experience for members. Moving on, we consider global perspectives on Masonry, highlighting how it is practiced and viewed around the world. Then, we look ahead to the future of Masonry, discussing potential evolutions and ongoing relevance. Finally, the conclusion ties everything together, reinforcing the importance of understanding Masonry's rich history and enduring principles. This slide provides a roadmap of what we've covered and what you can expect to take away from the presentation. Let's take a moment to review the key takeaways from our discussion. First, the importance of landmarks in Masonry cannot be overstated. They serve as guiding principles that uphold our traditions, ethics, and the integrity of the craft. These landmarks help foster unity and understanding among all Masons, creating a strong foundation for our shared values. Next, we see how principles shape our lives as Masons. They influence our conduct by encouraging integrity, brotherhood, and enlightenment. These core principles deepen our commitment to the values and traditions that define Masonry, guiding us in our everyday actions and interactions. Finally, looking ahead, the future of Masonry depends on how we adapt and evolve. It's about balancing our rich traditions with inclusivity and embracing new technologies. By doing so, we can ensure that Masonry remains relevant and meaningful for the new generations of Masons, while still preserving the core values that have guided us for centuries. As we come to the final thoughts, I want to share some personal reflections on Masonry. It's truly a journey of profound spiritual growth, where we not only develop ourselves, but also build a unique sense of community. Our rituals are rich with symbolism, encouraging us to reflect on our personal paths and what these traditions mean to us individually. Now, I encourage all of you, as Masons, to deepen your understanding and appreciation of our ancient traditions. Get involved in your lodges, participate actively, and really embrace the values of ethics and service that Masonry stands for. It's through this engagement that we keep our traditions alive and meaningful. And at the heart of everything, Masonry emphasizes brotherhood and community. The bonds we forge are deep and lasting, built on loyalty, support, and collaboration. These relationships not only help us grow as individuals, but also strengthen our wider community. Remember, brotherhood is truly the core of our shared journey, guiding us every step of the way. Thank you so much for being here today. I want to take a moment to express my gratitude and appreciation for your time and attention. It's been a pleasure sharing this journey with you. Remember, showing gratitude and appreciation isn't just about words, it's about action, practical ways we can embody these values every day. As we wrap up, I encourage you to explore our Masonic audiobook library, an excellent resource to continue your learning and growth. Once again, thank you for your presence and engagement. Your commitment makes a difference.